Hey there, welcome. Welcome to Rise and Receive. This is an opportunity in your day to stop whatever you're doing to explore how to receive fulfillment in your life by unlearning struggle. So today we are covering tip number 3 on how to invite fulfilling relationships. And the title of today's episode, so to speak, is The Power Lies with You. So, if you would like to invite more fulfillment in your relationships, whether you are single and would like to have a primary romantic partnership, or just more romance in your life, or have more friends or better experiences at work, or if you're in an existing relationship, whether it's friends, family, or professional, and you'd like to invite more fulfillment, then I invite you to stick around and receive today's message because I think you're going to really like it. So, to start, I invite you to think about relationships, a particular situation in your life where you'd like to feel more powerful, since today's topic is the power lies with you. And as you bring that into your awareness, just settle in and see what you learn, see what nugget you take away that you can take into your life today. All right. So if you don't know me, my name is Sonia Miller. I'm a speaker, coach, and best-selling author, and I mentor ambitious, goal-oriented people to surpass their limits with ease and speed. And the way that I do this is I illuminate the behaviors and the blind spots that most outcome-driven people have. In other words, there are certain behaviors and blind spots that are unique to outcome-driven people. And the way that I do this is I teach them how to receive, because receiving is its own skill. And outcome-driven people are really good at pursuing and acting like hunters. In other words, they operate more as human doings, but they're less familiar with human beingness, the utter power and the skills that comes with human beingness. One of them is how to receive. So what happens is human doings or pursuers or hunters will pursue relationships. But when you're in pursuit mode or in seeker mode, by definition, a hunter will have blinders on. That's kind of what you have to do. When you're focused on a target, you have to do that to the exclusion of all else. But those very same blinders can be the thing that causes your upper limit issue, because when you haven't received your goal and you don't know how to receive, what do? You work even harder. You stay in pursuit mode. And so what is here for you could be just passing you by. So that's what we illuminate here. Now, today we're going to talk about tip number 3, which is the power lies with you. And so I'm going to invite you to just think about your relationships from 2 different points of view: the doing mode and the being mode. So you might start to think about, oh, do I do relationships or do I be relationships? So what's the difference? Well, when you are in doing mode or hunter mode in relationship, and you're not feeling fulfilled, what's going to tend to happen is you're going to think, I don't have what I want. By definition, a hunter operates like that most of the time. When they're in hunter mode, they want something, the animal that they want to hunt, the target, but they don't have it. And they hunt and hunt and hunt. And while they're in hunter mode, they don't have it until they catch it. So the fulfillment of that is fleeting. And what will happen is that the hunter is going to be kind of trapped in what I call a problem-solving lens. So the fact that they don't have the animal and they need to get it will kind of be this like slippery slope where they're going to look at the relationship from a point of view of analyzing, using the head, taking a lot of action, and solving problems. So in relationship, when you're not fulfilled, that might be something like, what should I do? There's the doing. Or what is the other person doing that's causing me to not feel fulfilled? You might be thinking, what's the answer? How do I fix this? And your focus is going to be on either getting what you want, keeping the relationship because you don't want to lose it, or fixing something that you think is broken. So all of that can produce minimum results at best, or fleeting results. You might actually get what you want or think that you fixed the problem until the next relationship dynamic arises, right? Because it's not a lasting thing. The hunter catches the animal, it's conquered, it's killed, it's dead, you eat it, and then you're back in hunting mode. Okay, so when you're not fulfilled, the hunter thinks, I don't have what I want. When you're in being mode, which is the energy that allows you to invite fulfilling relationships, then you're operating from, I am whole and complete. So the hunter is a symbol for doing, and the majestic tree, which is a being of invitation, is, I am whole and complete. And when you're operating in being relationship, rather than problem solving, analyzing, doing, and fixing, when you're in the being mode of relationship, you are operating from awareness instead of analyzing, feeling instead of doing, and nurturing instead of fixing. Remember, the tree, if you think about it this way, when it's just a seed, it is whole and complete. It's never missing anything. It's not broken. You don't fix a seed, you nurture the seed. So how do we do this in a relationship? This model, this way, is where you have all of the power. Remember, the power lies with you. You're operating like the tree. The awareness and the presence is with you. So I like to give these 5 sorts of ways of relating to it. You know yourself, you accept yourself, you share yourself, you observe how the other person responds, and you explore your choices. So let's go into that a little bit more. Knowing yourself. Now, this is something that we are in a discovery process, could be for the rest of our lives. Okay, so part of it is just knowing that that's the nature of knowing yourself. But in order to know yourself, your awareness has to be turned on you instead of the other person. So that's the place of power. I have the power to know myself, to explore myself. Part of that means knowing your needs, your wants, your preferences, and your limits. Okay, that's part of knowing yourself. As you know yourself, then you share yourself. But you have to first accept this. So accepting is number 2. You accept these needs, these wants, these preferences, and these limits. Because if you don't accept yourself, then you're back into, there's something wrong with me, there's something wrong with the other person, I need to fix it. And as long as you're fixing problems in consciousness, you're going to get more problems. But when you know yourself, which is an ongoing journey, accept yourself, which means there's no more seeking, you don't have blinders on, but you're open, then you move on to the third piece, which is to share yourself. That means you communicate. You communicate your needs, your wants, your preferences, your limits. Now, this might sound obvious as I'm talking about it, but for a lot of people, you'd be amazed at how much we don't know ourselves. We don't focus on our needs and wants and wishes. We focus on changing the other person. We look at ourselves like there's something wrong with us and we need to fix ourselves instead of accepting and loving ourselves. And sharing ourselves, sharing our needs, wants, and wishes isn't the most obvious thing in the world, because a lot of us are actually afraid to be that much of ourselves, that open, that vulnerable. We're afraid of judgment. We're afraid of rejection. Very common, very human. This is absolutely something to, have compassion for. But this is the nature of where you can claim your power, because the power does lie with you. So as you know yourself, accept yourself, and share yourself as much as you can, practicing taking risks, being vulnerable, then you observe how the other person responds to you. This is how you invite fulfilling relationships, because as you observe how the other person responds to you, you start to discover what the relationship is made of, what's really possible here. Now, this makes your relationship with yourself the primary relationship. I always like to say that when you are seeking to manifest a relationship or contribute to making a relationship better, your primary relationship is actually with you. And then you bring that to your relationship, as opposed to looking to the other person to complete you. As romantic as it sounds from the movies, that's actually a disempowering place to come from. So you observe how they respond, and based on how they respond, then you get to explore what your choices are. So you're not trying to keep the relationship. You're not trying to fix the relationship. You're actually co-creating a relationship that you show up to over and over and over again. It's not finite like hunting. It's something that you both show up to. And then it is revealed. I would say the doing model of power manifests by hunting, seeking, and finding. And the being model or the receiving model is about receiving what's here and having it revealed. And it's revealed over and over again. Hey, Scott, great to see you. Thanks for being here. So that's a way of looking at where the power lies with you when you shift from doing relationships to being relationships, or pursuing relationships versus receiving relationships. So think about how you can take even one of those pieces into your relationships. Where can you explore knowing yourself a little bit more, accepting yourself a little bit more, sharing yourself a little bit more, observing how the person responds to you, and staying in the place of choice. You always have choices. Okay. So with that, I hope this was helpful. I'm going to give you one little inspiration from the Receive Oracle cards. Okay. This is the Receive Acceptance card. And willingness affirmations are a great way to activate the power of invitation instead of intention. So here's your affirmation that you can take into your day and take into your relationships. I am willing to relax into the safe and loving acceptance that naturally lives in me. I am willing to relax into the safe and loving acceptance that naturally lives in me. Begin with self-acceptance. Begin with nurturing that primary relationship with yourself, and then watch what unfolds in your relationships with other people. So if you like this, I hope you'll like and share. It helps me reach the people that I'm here to serve. You can click on the red subscribe button if you're on YouTube, and I'll let you know each time I release a new video. And here are 3 steps that you can explore if you would like to take some next steps in inviting fulfilling relationships into your life. Number 1, please join me in the Receive community on Facebook. I will include a link to that. It's a growing community where we learn how to receive our fulfillment by unlearning struggle. If you would like me to make some recommendations for you really easily, just fill out a form, 5 simple questions at showmenextsteps.com, and I will email or text you with some recommended resources based on your interest, your learning style, and your budget. And remember, you cannot receive what you most want if you don't know how to receive. Have a great day, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.